Oh, welcome to our Wednesday devotional. I want to share with you a thought very briefly, but a thought that I think will challenge you as it's challenged me this week. Two times in my devotionals this week, I've come across the same verse from different sources. A verse that tells me, Luke chapter 6, verse 27, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Love your enemies. Isn't that an amazing verse? Love your enemies. Probably I'm going to hear some criticism today or have someone that doesn't like something I've done today. Maybe even someone treat me as an enemy today. Jesus says, love your enemies. And maybe a couple of thoughts here. We are to love our enemies. You know what that means? That means that probably we will have enemies. You say, me? Who, me? I'm very likable. You know, it's easy to like likable people. But some people are not very likable. Whether it's people you work with or even family members, some are not very likable. And some seem to have it in for you or in for me, seemingly with no reason. And Jesus said, love your enemies. Because he said that, we know we'll have enemies. Because he said that, we know it's possible. From our standpoint, you might think, I can't love my enemy. But Jesus said, you can. Jesus said it's possible to love our enemies. That doesn't mean it'll be easy. That means he says it's possible. A lot of things, I believe, are possible for those of us that are saved because we have the Holy Spirit living in us to help us and to guide us. But we need to experience God's love and then express God's love. We're not to love our enemies because they're lovely. We're to love them because God is love and we have experienced his love. So that's the thought for today. Love it. Now, wait a minute. You say, well, how do I do that? Amazingly, the Bible in this same verse tells us exactly how to love our enemies. Again, I'm in Luke 6:27. But I say unto you, love your enemies, do good unto them that hate you. How do we love our enemies? We are to do good to those that hate us. Do good to those that despise us. Do good to those who are our enemies. You know what that means? That means if there's someone that doesn't like you, someone that is your enemy, we need to, you need to, I need to look for some way that we can be kind to them, some way that we can help them, some way that we can be a blessing to them. And as we're looking for ways to be a blessing to them, as we're looking for ways to help them, as we're looking for ways to do good unto them, perhaps our mindset will change a bit so that we don't think of them as our enemies. Perhaps their mindset will change a bit so that they don't think of us as enemies. Look for ways that we can help. Look for areas that that person needs help, even if you do it anonymously. Sometimes it's a lot more fun to help someone or do good to someone anonymously so they don't know who did it. And they're baffled, but enjoying the help they got. And then in Luke chapter 6, as Jesus continued his teaching, he not only said we're to love our enemies, and he not only said that we're to do good to them that hate us, but he explains it later on in verse 31 when he says this, as you would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. We call that the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But doesn't that make sense? Isn't that the way we would want people to treat us? We want them to treat us like they want to be treated. We should treat them like we want to be treated. So my thought today is you're probably going to face an enemy today. Someone that doesn't like you. Maybe someone that despises you. Jesus said, love your enemies. Do good to them that hate you. So that's my assignment for today. Have a great day.